In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best cold email template for SaaS companies. But first, let me introduce myself. My name's George. I'm the founder of Email Chaser. Now let's get into the video. If you're a SaaS company, which stands for Software as a Service, then you might be looking for a template that you can use for your cold email campaigns. First thing I just want to mention is that there is no one template that you can copy, which is going to get you results. Instead of thinking about templates, it's better to think about frameworks. In this video, I'm going to show you some frameworks based on a real email that I sent for Email Chaser that received a 30% plus response rate. And if you take these frameworks and apply them to your own SaaS company, you're going to get a very high response rate. As you can see on my screen, this is a real email that I sent in my cold email campaign. This particular cold email campaign received about a 30% plus positive response rate. So a very high percentage of the people that were contacted in this campaign responded positively. And there's a few things that I want to go over in this template. So the first is the lead list. Before we go into the actual copy of the email, it's really important to talk about the lead list, because when you're writing a cold email for any industry, including SaaS, you need to have your lead list built first, because your email copy will be centered around your lead list. So what I did in this particular campaign is I made a list of people that gave Instantly a G2 review. And in case you're not aware, Instantly is a cold email sending software. So they're one of our competitors at Email Chaser. And you can see on their G2 page, they have almost 3,000 reviews. Now, if someone gives a review to Instantly, then that means that they're already using the product, meaning that they're already using a cold email sending platform, which means that they're an ideal prospect for Email Chaser, because we don't want to reach out to random business owners. We want to reach out to people who already use cold email sending tools, because they're going to be in the market for something like Email Chaser. And once I made that list of all the people who gave reviews, and we found their email addresses, I then uploaded them into a campaign in Email Chaser and sent them this email. And a few things that I'll go through here. I'll start with the subject line. You can see that in the subject line, it says Instantly review on G2. And the reason why that's a great subject line is because it's very specific to this person. When the person receives this email and they see that the subject line says Instantly review on G2, they're not going to think that I'm sending this email to thousands of different people, because it's so specific to them. If you use something like quick question, then they're just going to automatically delete your email because you look like every other bad email they've ever received. But something like this, which is very relevant to the person, is going to get opened. And typically when I'm writing a subject line, I usually like to mention where I found the prospect, or something about the prospect that's super specific, which doesn't look salesy, doesn't look promotional, but just seems like something that they have to open. And then another thing that you should be aware of is when I'm writing my cold emails, I usually like to tie the PS line to the subject line. So in the subject line, I'll say Instantly review on G2. And then in the PS line, I'll say, PS, your review on Instantly's G2 page caught my eye, prompting me to contact you. So in both subject line and PS line, I'm making it super clear to the prospect where I found them and why I'm reaching out to them. And that's just going to increase the chance that they respond to my email, because they're going to think this person's probably emailing me specifically. This email is too specific for it to be a mass email campaign. I should probably respond. As we progress into this template, you'll see that I start the email saying, hi, first name. And then in the first line, what I do here is I just say exactly what we do and why it's better than whatever they're currently doing. So I don't waste any time with fake compliments or AI personalized tools or anything like that. I get straight to the point. First, this helps me stand out. 99% of cold emails look AI generated and have a bunch of fake AI compliments. So if you just get straight to the point and say what you do very clearly and why it's better than what they're currently doing, people are going to notice that. So I built a tool that is similar to Instantly, but instead of using Spintax, we use GPT-4 Turbo. Well, this email says Turbo, but now we use GPT-4o, which is the updated version, to slightly rewrite each email so that no two leads receive the exact same email copy. This line might seem like something very complicated to the average person, but since everyone I'm reaching out to is already using a cold email sending tool Instantly, most people are going to know what this means, and they're going to find this interesting. So that's why I wrote that first line. And then the second section of this cold email is right here. And these 3 lines I've just highlighted, they're all pretty much tied together. But what this is essentially is basically the offer. So I say, interested in joining our beta testers. You get to use Email Chaser for half a year, just looking for your honest feedback in return. Let me know if you want to try Email Chaser without any obligation. So these 3 lines I've highlighted are basically the offer / call to action. It's sort of all those things combined. So I would really say that these 2 lines are the offer. I'm basically telling the prospect, you can use Email Chaser for free for 6 months. All I want is your feedback. And then the call to action is something very simple, like let me know if you want to try Email Chaser without any obligations. I'm not asking for a call. I'm not asking for the time. This is just a very simple yes or no response, which is going to increase my response rate, because if the prospect simply has to say yes or no and doesn't take up any of their time, they're more likely to respond positively. I then say, cheers, George. So sometimes I'll write best George, cheers, George. I keep it casual. And then, as I already mentioned earlier in this video, I include the PS line, which I usually will tie to the subject line. So in both the subject line and the PS line, I'm basically saying where I found the prospect, which is going to make them think that this email is just for them, and that's going to increase the response rate that I receive. I also throw in the signature down here, which if you're using Email Chaser to send your cold emails, you can add a signature very easily. And that's pretty much it. So if you're writing a cold email for a cold email campaign for your SaaS company, then you want to follow something similar to this. I'm not saying that you want to copy this exactly, because your particular situation might be completely different. But in general, if you're a SaaS company, a really great strategy is to build a highly relevant lead list of people that already use the type of product that you already sell. So let's say you're selling tour reservation software. Well, then make a list of people that already own a tour company, that already use tour reservation software, or maybe that don't use tour reservation software, but they still own a tour company, and make those highly segmented relevant lead lists. And then you write your cold email copy around those lead lists. And in this particular example I showed here, I'm basically just saying what I did, what we do, why it's much better than what they're currently doing, with a great offer and a simple call to action. And that's it. It's very simple. If you want, you can also throw in a case study or something that gives you more credibility. For example, I might mention something like 2,000 plus companies already use Email Chaser, just so that people trust in me more, they're more likely to respond. But that's not even necessary in all situations, depending on your particular campaign. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more videos about cold email and sales, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. I hope to see you in the next video.